Hello guys, it's Sendou here again. So today we have another video on the Splatoon 2 basic series, and this is one that I've been meaning to do for a long time, and now I think I could finally do it. And it stands for the very common question many people have, and it's related to like, what build should I run? Like yes, like whatever is your weapon of choice, you like it's probably gonna be like one of your questions is that, you know, whichever abilities I should be running with it. And sometimes people come with some pretty outlandish results. And in this game, it's completely possible to get exactly the gear you want with moderate grinding, but you still have to know what you're gonna go for. So I'm gonna go over the abilities, just tell you my opinion of them one by one, and just kind of like tell you how useful this ability is and for what situations. After that, we're gonna take a look at my Brella build, and I'm gonna bit open my ideas behind it. I'm gonna give examples through that, and I'm gonna go through a couple more concepts. But yeah, the first resource we are using here is loadout.inc. I'm gonna be linking the resources to the video description, but this is definitely a very useful one. So you can use this to play around with builds, and you can see the stats, how they change on the sidebar here. It's really useful resource, especially when you're sharing your builds with your friends and so on. But just to start on, we have the 3 ink efficiency perks: ink 7 main, ink 7 sub, and ink recovery up. So ink 7 main is and ink 7 sub, they're both abilities you run if you wanna get more out of one ink tank, right? And ink recovery up is more like doing more actions in a certain time period. So what I mean with this is that, okay, if I just generally wanna be able to do more, throw more bombs, shoot more, then I'm gonna always should be choosing ink recovery up. And ink 7 main is more like, well, I have this one ink tank and I wanna be able to get more shoots of it. So for example, on my range build, I use both. I use ink 7 main because I want to be able to shoot many times before I have to recharge ink, because it takes a long time after I shoot for me to start recharging. But I also use ink recovery up to help me kind of like, you know, be able to do more actions per minute with recharging in the middle. And ink 7 sub, well, mostly in my opinion, this is useful for builds that are focused on, for example, throwing multiple bombs. Like, you have to stack a lot, but you'll be able to reach 3 burst bombs from just one ink tank. So I think that's the primary use for this. But in most cases, I think ink recovery up is the right choice if you wanna be doing more stuff. And then we have the movement perks: run speed up and swim speed up. So run speed up is something I commonly see people use, and it's just something that I don't think you should be using on too many weapons, right? So I think for Spatlings it's super good, for Brellas it's super good. Beyond that, it's kind of questionable. So I see many people like run it for the spatter shot builds and whatnot. Like some like pretty common thing people do is something like this. You know, for example, something like this, where they like waste a lot of spot for run speed, but typically I don't think run speed helps that much for shooters. Like, you're not gonna be able to do that much more with it. Like, I think the primary use for run speed is simply to be able to ink a bit better. So like with Spatlings and Brellas, you get a bit more better like inking patterns when you're constantly shooting. And with Spatlings you are able to run down enemies that are running away from you. So I think for most parts you should be only using run speed for those two, Brellas and Spatlings, those two categories. Swim speed up, on the other hand, is one of my favorite perks, and I run it for almost every weapon that is in the slightest frontliner weapon. I think it's really useful in the sense that it also helps you come back faster from spawn a bit. It helps you catch up with the enemies, it helps you keep your spacing, which might mean going back or going forward depending on the situation. And overall terms, just like always like this perk a lot, so you see me use it in many builds. quick super jump and quick respawn. So I think I'm gonna be linking the video I made on quick respawn, but it still applies. Quick respawn is still a good perk in my opinion. It's like something you would be running for, you know, very aggressive weapons you want to be really aggressive with, and have kind of like a safety net to fall back to. So just an example, like a blaster build I was trying out, and definitely I think a very viable one. It's just not something I personally felt too comfortable with, so I gave up on it. But it's definitely something that comes down to your personal choice, really. Like, I can show you builds here all day, but in the end it's all about your personal choice. Like, you gotta know like what's comfortable for you, what you wanna be doing, because with range blaster you can do multiple different things. You can do the kind of build I'm running that I made a video of, or you can do more like build I'm showing now on the screen, with more quick respawn that helps you do more aggressive plays. And then, you know, if those aggressive plays fail, you have the quick respawn to fall back to. Like, that's the primary point. And you see many people run quick super jump, especially in Japan now. And this is just like another way to get back faster, and also to get out faster. So you could run some build like this, for example, and this would be something that is made to specifically very like aggressive plays, but also like something I see people do with quick super jump is that, you know, when a stingray comes in, they know I'm gonna die to this. They're just gonna jump back, basically. So that's something quick super jump can be used to. But quick super jump, quick respawn are commonly used together, so that's good to know. Ink resistance up, another perk I very much like. So, like, this is something I use with my range blaster build right now. So if you see like this range blaster build right now, well, I could show something like a bit that's bit more like my range blaster build right now. Not like 1-to-1, but still something that I'm using right now. So ink resistance up helps with two things. One thing is that you take less damage from enemy ink over time, and the other thing is that you take less movement penalties from standing in enemy ink. So I think both of these are really like useful, and personally, like, what I've been able to see is that it's a really big difference for me whether I'm running resistance or not, and like now I can't live without it basically. So, you know, it's just been like something that I had to learn through trial and error, and that's another thing I wanna say here is that, you know, you have to like try different things and see what works for you. Like, not one build is gonna work for everyone. And for me, I noticed I think resistance is really useful for me, so now I run it with all my builds basically, all my range build at least. And that's just like something I learned through trial and error basically. But like, moreover, I think moving forward, bomb defense. You see me put like 2 bomb defense subs here. Typically, I use 1 bomb defense sub. So if you go back on my Twitter, I can put a link to this too if I remember all these links. But 1 bomb defense sub, like, think about it, you're just spending like 1 sub, and you're getting so much out of it. So 1 bomb defense helps you not be able to, basically, the ink armor you're using won't break so easily won't break from bombs far hitbox. Like, a bombs are far hitbox. Like, all bombs deal exactly 30 damage, and ink armor breaks at 30 damage. So you put 1 sub of bomb defense on, and it's not 30 damage. It's like a 28 or 29 or something. So, you know, just like sometimes like one sub can be really significant like that. But bomb defense is something that I definitely recommend, like looking at what you get from different amounts. Like, that's another resource I'm gonna recommend. This just SplatoonWiki.org, which is something I use quite often, and I think for most parts the information here is correct. And, you know, you could say like, okay, at 3 sub I can survive 1 direct burst bomb and 2 distant blast. Yeah, that's like, okay, maybe that's like That sounds pretty good. So it says here it's 3 subs, but typically if I wanna survive that extra amount, I have to go a bit over, and that's because if someone like is throwing burst bombs at you, typically you also are gonna be taking damage from enemy ink, basically. So that's why I typically would go a bit over that amount if you wanna be able to survive that. Like, this doesn't apply to the ink armor because of course ink armor doesn't take damage from enemy ink, so it's not like relevant in that. But bomb defense, still a good ability. There's a lot of bombs in this game. There's a lot of like bomb. It's a bit misleading name, bomb defense. It actually means defense against every sub weapon and every special weapon that deals damage, except Stingray and well, again, like I typically just like with here, like well, everything that explodes basically. Like, this is kind of like weird because those like inkjet, yeah, I guess it kind of explodes. Okay, everything that explodes. So also special weapons. That's my like main point here. Is that also special weapons? So you do tend to get a lot of use out of it every match, and this is especially useful for like aggressive frontliners, I think. Cold-blooded. Well, right now I'm not really convinced. So it like decreases its tracking against everything in this game. Like everything that tracks you, like haunt, point sensors most notably. Personally not a big fan, don't really bother with this in my opinion. Special charge up and special saver. So okay, these two abilities right here are both gonna be getting you more specials each match on average, but they still function very differently. So again, if I'm gonna be running aggressive build with my range blaster, so okay, maybe I decide that running some quick respawn is a good idea. Then maybe suddenly I wanna be running more special saver because I'm gonna be dying more with my special on. Then I'm gonna be saving my special that way. Now the other hand, special charge up is more like, well, think about just having you only have limited amount of space to use to get your specials from, and special charge up makes that a bit more efficient. So think about when you have control, you won't have like infinite amount of turf to cover to get your specials, because at some point the enemies are gonna come back in, and then you either have specials or you don't. So special charge up makes that a bit more likely. But yeah, this is also something you can like put together and so on. But yeah, like typically for my range blaster build, I just do special charge up right now because I don't tend to die that much. And when you think about also the special you're using, like right now you see here I'm using my rain cloud. So rain cloud is typically something that I use right away. But on the other hand, think about something like Sloshing Machine with Stingray. Well, Stingray is something that you typically want to use from your spawn. So some people run quick super jump sets and they jump back to spawn. But as you might as well run special saver, and then you are able to get the Stingray right when you respawn. Just one example for the differences of these two abilities. Special power up, sub power up. So special power up largely depends on the special you're using. So again, using this nice resource here. Like typically, if you look at all these specials, like only weapon specials I would right now use it for are maybe bubble blower, ink armor, and maybe Stingray. But that's just me personally. Like, you might find these effects more valuable for you personally, but these are the ones you most commonly see, I feel like, and it makes sense. Like, longest Stingray, yeah, very nice. Ink armor lasts longer and you get it faster, that's super nice. But then again, Bowler more health, is that really relevant? I don't think so. So you have to also like keep in mind these things, like you think for yourself, like, okay, Bowler having more health, is that really relevant? Like, you probably can come to the conclusion that there's not gonna be many cases where it probably would like help you Bowler not like getting destroyed. So definitely useful ability, but just be smart about which special you use it with. Sub power up, kind of like same thing. It also like varies from special to special how it affects it, and I think mostly I've seen people use it with burst bombs to be able to throw them a bit faster faster and further, so the increases velocity and travel distance, so it also makes them aiming them a bit easier. But for everything else, like splash wall increases durability, like is that so relevant? It already gets destroyed so fast, so I don't know. Or sprinklering, like increases duration of high power and mid power phases. Like typically, I just don't think these are so important effects, really. And you have something like Squid Beacon, increases super jump speed. This one I could see, like if you're running Beacon only build for doubles or something, then yeah, sure, I could see Squid Beacon and Sub Powerup being used together. But again, not so popular ability right now. But still good to keep in mind. Like if you're playing like map to map, like if you're playing on just one weapon and you're like, okay, for this map I have to be able to throw my bombs a bit further, then yeah, sure, go for Sub Powerup. Okay guys, so basically what happened here is that I started to talk about the second half of this video, but then like midway I ran out of my voice and I was like, well, this video is already like way too long, it's way longer than I expected, so what I'm gonna do instead is that I'm gonna cut down the video here, and for the second part I'm gonna go over the more, you know, the more special abilities you see below the cut line, so basically the abilities you're not able to stack. So I'm gonna go over those next time, tell you which are worth it, which are not worth it right now. And also we're gonna take a look at my Brella build, which I'm gonna go over and tell you like how I like put it together, or how it was put together. And also go over a couple more concepts. So that's gonna be the second part, but hope you guys like this one, and if you have questions, please do leave a comment, and see you guys next time.